Hey friends, welcome back to Mark's Speed Shop. Trying to be out of the wind, it's real windy today, and I'm halfway in the paint booth, so I may get a windy echo, I don't know. But I appreciate you coming back. This video is not going to be all about this Charger. Now, like I told you in the last video, I did take it down, fired her up, took it down, and washed it, and it looks a lot better, and I got a little bit of that I'm going to show you. Don't worry, it's not the whole thing. I did take it up the road after that, and it ain't popping hardly at all. I think I've got on it once or twice. Well, I got on it maybe 3 or 4 times at least, but maybe once or twice it gave a little pop, but it wasn't pop, 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 pop. It's not like a machine gun. I had said I think the carburetor had loaded up, but what I really meant was that the 750 Holiday is so rich on it, and it's a lot of gas. And all this cranking up and checking the alternator and cranking it up and cutting it off and cutting it off, doing all that back and forth, backing it out and cutting it off and cranking it up and pulling it in, all that junk, Hollies don't like that at all. So after the other day of putting fresh gas in it and some at Behrman's and running it some, man, today is just a world of difference. It's a different vehicle. But I appreciate you coming back. Now let's jump in. I'm going to show you a little bit on this, but I'm going to jump in and do a little bit more on the C10 project. Thanks for coming back. Well, I brought her down to give her a bath. She really needs it. Oh, sorry about this wind. I did pump a little air in the air shocks because I hadn't put any in a couple of years. And also that'll help keep them pipes up off the ground. I don't plan on leaving it up that high, but I want to put a little bit in it, and I need to add the air up the back tires. They're about 24 pounds. I got them about 35, 36 right now. So, like I said, I'm not planning on doing a whole video on this, but I'm going to go ahead and wash it. So, oh yeah, I wanted to say I checked the transmission fluid, and I was really surprised that it shifted so well with pretty much no fluid in it. It was non-touching the stick, so I put probably about 3 quarts in it. That's all I had, and it seems to be all right now. And she's running good. Got that battery charger, it's running good. It's popping a lot less since I put the fresh gas, the Behrman's, and I drove it. So it just needs more driving. All right, let's get into this box here from Classic Industries. What we got? All kinds of stuff. Oh, this one blown away. Windy today. All right. Put this in here, and then maybe I won't have to chase it across the yard here. All right. I'm gonna say these are probably the frame mount motor mount. Good job. Oh yeah, pretty nice. They're gonna be real good. Oh no, I think it goes like this. See how the hole is a little bit different. It's got a little bend to it there. It made to go a little bit more forward. C50 goes forward a little bit more. Let's see what's in this one. Oh yeah, this is going to be the latch, the door latch stuff. Yeah, I went ahead and got the kit and got all the rods, the ends. I think this is all I really need, but I want to make sure. Yeah, I think it's where it comes in and locks. This is what's bad on mine. Liable to get it all apart, and it's just, might just be something up here. I don't know. We'll take it apart and look at it. I'm not going to do that today, but we got it right here. That's going to keep me from falling out. All right. All right, well, I got a little wrapped up in getting all this together and getting the bolts, the old bolts out of the 307 to put in this because of the way it's made with the brackets. And so I just set it up on there. Got a little light in this shop, of course. So I got to pull the bottom of this bottom pulley off and put the one off the 307. So this 350 obviously is going to be set up accessory wise like the 307. I don't like using these old bolts, but they're a little bit different. The water pump that was on this engine with the long snout, it was one of them where all 4 bolts were the same length. And these are not. These, every one of them is a little bit different length or different style. These bolts on this side have studs on them with alternator brackets and stuff. And I'm going to put it all back like that, see if I can get it to work, because the alternator bracket is supposed to, I'll show you in a minute, I'm going to put it on here, but it's supposed to come up here, and then the bottom part of the alternator bracket bolts into the exhaust manifold. Well, this doesn't have no exhaust manifold. It's going to have fender well headers on it, so I always have to do some kind of modifying. All right, I'm going to take this, set it over here. All right, and then what I really all I want to do right now, put the rocker arms back on and push rods in. I don't think I'm going to adjust the valves right now. I got the, you saw where I put the alternator brackets on it. I'm going to loose. I might move this one down here. Yeah, I'm going to have to do fine tune all that once we get it in and try to get it all hooked up. But trying to get it all together, I do need to take this pulley off. I might go ahead and do that. Take this pulley off and put the other one on. So let me get all my stuff out here and we'll get set up and get started. All right, got these set on here. Now, the way these go on, the little flat part goes down. The little, the best way to see it, there you go. The little bevel part you'd think would go down, but it doesn't. It's like kind of like one of them lock nut kind of things. It's a little tighter across the top. So that's what holds it together, holds it in there. And the little washer thing that's in there goes flat up against the bottom. Now I've got one missing off of here, and I don't remember what I did with it. I remember taking it off. But it's been a while since I took the heads. It's been a while since I took them off, and then it's been a little while since I took them to the machine shop. And so I'm probably just going to pull one off instead of sitting here wasting my time and yours. I'm going to pull one off one of these other engines, probably a 307. Pull the rocker arm and all off of that. Every little bit you do, you know. Well, I said I was going to pull one off one of that 307, and I had a head bolt in that box. And so I went to throw it in the little bucket well, actually a coffee can, where I have the head bolts for this. And guess what was sitting right there in there with the head bolts? Got the nut, the washer, and everything. So there it is, the one right off of there. Now, let's see, it's over here. And stick that on. All right, rather than put the push rods and all in dry, I'm going to use a little bit of STP oil treatment. I'm going to pour a little bit on top of the lifters, and then I'll, as I wipe down the push rods, you know, I'll make sure they got a little bit on the ends too. Now, I'm not dumping the whole thing in. I'm just going to put a little bit in there so it won't be dry. And it'll have a little bit, you know, a little bit extra lubrication for when we fire up again. A little bit on the cam there too. One thing about the Chevrolet, it's closed off. A little bit down there on the old pump shaft too. All right. Yeah, there we go. Nice little bit in there. Now, I'll take a clean rag and I'm going to wipe down the push rods and blow through them, make sure ain't nothing stopping them up. And I'm just going to put a little bit, got a little deep on that one. It's gonna be messy. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down in there. Get that in there good. Set that on there. All right. I've got to get me a light in here. I've got lights in the ceiling, but they way so far and they ain't very good. But I've got this side in and done. And I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. I'm gonna take the camera and shit go all around and show you all that. Now, I'm gonna do this side. And I went ahead and I snug these down just a little bit over here. I'll show you that in when I take you around in just a minute. All right. So now let me get this side done, and I'll take you around and show you what I've done. Just getting a little bit of STP on it where it's sitting in the valley here. And make sure she's in the lifter. There we go. All right. All right, I'm going to show you in a minute, but I'm just trying to get them just snug down enough to where they won't do that, where the push rods won't jump out. I don't want it tight yet. But I want to get them just snug getting started. So I'm going to adjust them right here on the engine stand. I'm not going to do that right now. All right, let's take a quick look here. Now, I've got all the push rods in and in the cups of the lifters. See, I can still spin them and go up and down just a wee bit. Whoa, that was a whole lot. I need to tighten them back down. All right, snug up and back down a little bit. I don't know how I forgot that one, but anyway, this is what I want. I want them to be right now. I want them to be just a little bit loose, tight enough to hold the push rod, just like that one over here. I popped it right out of the cup. I didn't want to do that. So just snug enough to hold the push rod in place, but no real pressure on the push rod or the valve springs or anything like that. This is getting it started. This is just getting to the, now when I adjust them, which I'm not gonna do right this minute, like I say, it might be 30 seconds for y'all, a minute for y'all, it might be next video for y'all, I don't know, I have to see when I get there. But right now I just want to put them in, get them ready to go. And when I do adjust them, I will snug them all down. Then I rotate the engine a quarter of a turn. And then the ones that come loose, I snug them down. And then I rotate another quarter. I do that, and I got to do that all the way around until they're all snug. And then I go around one more time and check them, make sure they're all snug. And then I lock them down, and they're good to go. So it's getting there. Every little bit you do, right? I still got to take these off. These are the Camaro motor mounts. I take these off and put the ones for the truck on. All kinds of little stuff to do, but I'm getting there. So, got the heads on, torqued, got the valve train in and ready to adjust. Got the water pump on. Got the bracket on here, which, like I say, I may take this bottom one and put it right down here. I have to worry about that when I get there. But I got it on here, so I know where it is, know when to use it. I need to take this pulley off, because this is the one for the power steering and everything too. Don't need that. I'm gonna need that on the Camaro. And I'm gonna put the one off at 307, which is just a single pulley, to go with the alternator, because the only accessory I got on this engine. And I'm hoping, what I was saying before, I hope the water pump fan pulley off the 6-cylinder will go back far enough to line up with this. If not, I'm gonna have to find one for that. No big deal. I can get there. But it's getting there. Every little bit you do, you know. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this video on a little bit more on the Charger, and then a little on the 71 C10, what I like to call the C10 gasser project. Getting the 350 together. It's coming together pretty good. Be sure to come back on the next video, because I'm going to adjust the valves. I'm going to put the intake on. I'm going to put the valve covers on, put the distributor in. I'm going to do all that. I'm going to get it all ready. And then we're going to pull it off the engine stand and put the pilot bushing in, and the clutch, and the flywheel and the clutch and all that. So a lot more work to do, a lot more things to get done. But I really appreciate you watching. You coming back to see me. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Just hit that little button and come back next time. And I'll be here, and I'll see you at the shop.